What's up, everyone? Today we got Orange Piccolo. Just a heads up, I bought this used, so there are some things about it that aren't exactly new out of the box, but it's still a great figure. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, drop a comment, let me know what you want to see me unbox again, or pose, or do whatever with. But with that, let's get into it. All right, the first thing I want to say is I really like the head sculpt. It's beefy. It just looks really good. A little dirty looking, but this is where I would say the issue I had with it, which is nothing. It's a used figure. It's missing the antenna, but out of the box, if it was new, all the antenna come with all the different head sculpts. So for this particular figure, I have to pull out the antenna and put them in the other heads, which is very, very sketchy, but it comes with 4 different heads. They all have different facial expressions. It comes off really easily. And here, I'll be honest, this is one of the things that I really did not like about this figure. The head comes off way too easily and is kind of a pain to get on. As I'm struggling here to get it on. Oh my god.
One eternity later.
But eventually I get it on here. Either way though, the heads look great on this figure. Arm movement is decent. I feel like the shoulders could have been better. It has this rubbery plastic to the gi, which gives it a nice look. I like the way it looks and feels. I've heard other people don't like that. They prefer like the hard plastic, but even if you're a figure collector of like, say, Marvel Legends, there's a gap. I was kind of bothered by that, but that's just the nature of the beast with this figure. It has the typical turn ratio in the bicep. The shoulders, I feel, really have some sort of like hindrance. Like you can't reach above his head very well without spinning it upside down. It looks and feels a little unnatural. I'm sure you'll see the pose here in a bit. The elbow, arm joints, they're fine for this size of a figure. Going back to the rubbery gi though, I like it, but I know some others don't, so it's really up to you. You're going to see me swap out the heads often, sometimes not with the antenna, but the legs move pretty good. This being a used figure, I can't really say how the new one would be. And here's another gripe I have. It doesn't bend farther back than that. It's stuck on his plastic part of the back end. So there is a limited hip hinge right there, or that's about all you can get. Even a square booty gets in the way, so it won't turn. I don't know if this is normal for this figure, as this one being used. A good thing I'll say about the legs is I like the shading on the plastic. It's really cool. I like the way it looks. You can argue that it doesn't look good, but I think it looks good. But the knees are nice, they're solid. The feet are kind of plasticky looking, but it's not a game changer for me. I still like the figure. Big issue with the feet though is when I'm posing him or standing him up, he wants to slide and fall down. So I would advise, if you're doing some dynamic poses, be patient or use sticky tack. And I'll insert some poses right here real quick before we get back to the video. And now we're gonna check the abs. It spins around well, but this thing needs Jesus. Crunch abs, my son. The ab crunch is really limited. It's terrible. I guess you could say that Orange Piccolo, being as big as he is, wouldn't need to, do crazy poses like a smaller character. But I would have liked to have more range of motion in the ab itself. But it is what it is. It bothers me a little bit. It's not the worst thing. I still think this is a great figure. It's just I wanted to do new things with my reviews where I actually will point out some of the bad points from my perspective, not yours. Don't let me yuck your yum, as they say. And here's I'm trying to pose him with the feet being weird. The feet are great, but if they're not almost perfect, they tend to want to slide out on certain surfaces because it's so smooth of plastic on the bottom. But overall, I mean, regardless of his ab crunch issue, the posing of this guy is awesome. The hands come off super easy. They stay on really well. There's no looseness in the wrist. The pegs fit in the holes really well. I thought this was really neat. I love the hands for this Piccolo. I don't have many experiences with Piccolo SHs other than the Daima Mini, which is a cool figure. It has glaring issues. I think I'll review it eventually here, especially with the soft goods. I feel like it was terrible, but this review's about Orange Piccolo, but jazz hand. And so here I'll take out the antenna to put in the other heads. They're supposed to be on the other ones, but it was used. I'll keep repeating it. And so I have to do this, and this is for any of those people who have purchased this figure or own it and somehow lost their antenna. You need to be really delicate. It's a specific shape, so it slides in, and I almost broke one being a little too rough and forceful because I didn't notice that it was like a half circle with a straight back, and so I was trying to shove it in there, and it's like putting a square peg through a round hole, basically, is what I was doing. And as I said, I almost broke the antenna, and I would have been really, 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 really disappointed if I would have done that. But going back to one of the best things about this figure is I love the face sculpts. They're incredible. Now putting the head on kind of stinks, but it goes on once you get it lined up. Overall, I mean, for assuming that this figure is kind of the same out of the box, it feels really nice. It's kind of like one of the One Piece figures. Like, you get it new out of the box and the joints aren't like super loose, but they're not super tight, so it has that nice like broken in feel, but they can still hold their pose. I still want to point out I love the rubbery E look and the shading on the knees. Now I'm going to do a size comparison with a Diamonical Fit Gogeta, which is basically, in my opinion, an SH Figuarts clone, because it is. But you can see how big the Orange Piccolo is. Ooh, little bad boys pose, getting ready to fight. And now Marvel Legends Venom from the Venom and Captain America 2-pack for the Gamerverse. It's fully standing up. Here it is in his classic gamer crouch pose as if he's getting ready to fight. Oh, that must have hurt Venom. And he got smacked. So yeah, my overall thoughts, I really like this figure. It has a couple of issues that I just pointed out, mostly being the ab crunch and the leg not really coming back all the way, like as you can see right there. Showing off the bad points again. So doing like a crazy dynamic run pose is kind of hard to do. Apologies for my hand being in the way while I'm trying to talk and pose things for y'all. But here I'm trying to do the running man pose, like as if he was like just, running really fast towards the enemy and not using a stand. That was kind of where I got it. It was really bad posing, but you can see the limitation in the leg on the backswing like that. I guess I could trim the back piece of the rear of the pants and maybe it would give it more range of motion, but I don't really want to customize this figure that way. I got this for a really good price, but I still don't want to destroy the figure. I just want to leave it original as it is. And here to kind of get towards the end of the video, I want to show off some poses I did with the figure. Pardon the setup, I was doing them rather quickly. But I also wanted to point out the details on the clothing. The ripples in the clothing are really good with the shading. The paint of the Namekian tree on the back is really, really good. And up close, all the details are really great on this figure. Conclusion, I really think this figure is great. I'm a huge fan of Piccolo, so I'm a little biased. It's always been wanted in my collection. I'm just glad I got it for a cheap price, even though it's used, but the person who owned it before me took really good care of it. So with that, I have to say I really like the figure. It does have a few issues that I kind of find as a bummer, like the leg and the ab crunch, but this figure a solid 7.5 out of 10 because, those articulation issues and the lack of accessories. Like, for the price, I believe it should have came with like a particle effect or some sort of like energy blast, but that's just me. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know what you think. If you have Piccolo, what do you think of the figure? Anyways, peace out.